Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to this brand new video entirely dedicated to Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. Today, we will focus on a very interesting theory that has been spreading more and more online, especially among fans who pay close attention to details and hidden elements in official trailers. As we know, mob entertainment loves to scatter visual hints, subliminal messages, and small details that often go unnoticed at first glance, but later turn out to be extremely important. In particular, over the last few days, some users have decided to analyze the number 5 that appears in the cinematic trailer of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. I'm referring exactly to the number that officially indicates the 5th chapter of the saga. An element that seemed purely graphic, but that, according to some, might hide much more. According to this theory, in fact, by applying different filters to the number 5, such as contrast, brightness, saturation adjustments, and other visual effects, it would be possible to see a hidden face inside it. A face that could belong to a character we already know, or to something completely new and not yet officially revealed. And that is exactly what we are going to do today. During the video, we will analyze the number 5, apply various filters, compare the images, and try to understand whether this face truly exists or if it is just an illusion. But before getting into the analysis, as always, I ask for a little support from you. If you enjoy the video, leave a like, because it really helps the channel grow and allows me to bring you more Poppy Playtime content. And if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any news, theories, or updates about the upcoming chapters. Let's start right away with the analysis of the number 5 and discover together if behind that simple symbol there is really a creepy hidden face. Let's finally start talking about the theory. First of all, I want to make a very important clarification. This is not my personal theory, but a theory that was created directly by the Poppy Playtime community. I want to clearly point this out because I absolutely don't want to be a YouTuber who steals other people's theories. It's only fair to give proper credit to those who actually came up with the theory, especially when it involves such detailed and interesting analysis. That being said, let's get into the theory itself. According to what emerged from the community's analysis, by applying specific filters to the number 5 that appears in the cinematic trailer of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, it is possible to obtain the image you are seeing here in the video. These are not complicated operations or advanced editing techniques, but simple visual adjustments that anyone can try. To achieve these results, all you need to do is lower the brightness, then increase the contrast, and finally raise the saturation. Just with these 3 steps, the appearance of the number 5 changes quite noticeably, bringing out signs, shadows, and shapes that are almost invisible to the naked eye in the original trailer. By applying these filters, we can see that specific marks start to appear inside the number 5. And they do not seem like simple random graphic artifacts. At first glance, they might look like just stains or image noise. But by observing them more carefully, it becomes clear that their arrangement is quite unusual. And this is where the community didn't stop. After identifying these marks, many users began to carefully analyze their positioning, comparing different filtered versions of the image. At first, they may seem like random signs with no real order. But when you pay closer attention, you can start to notice recurring details, lines and shapes that appear to follow a very specific logic. And this is where the core of the theory is born, because according to many fans, this is not just a coincidence, it could be something that was intentionally placed there. Let's now carefully analyze the image with the filters applied. By looking at it more closely, several really interesting details begin to emerge, and they are definitely worth observing calmly and carefully. From this image, we can clearly distinguish 3 different elements, which I have circled so you can see them better, and so the analysis is as clear as possible for everyone watching at home. What immediately stands out is that these 3 elements do not seem to be placed randomly at all. On the contrary, their arrangement suggests something much more precise and intentional. If we observe them together, we can notice that they are arranged as if they belong to a face. In fact, the 2 upper elements are positioned at roughly the same height and at a similar distance from each other, exactly like 2 eyes on a face. The element located lower down, instead, can easily be interpreted as a nose or a mouth, depending on how you look at it and on the intensity of the applied filters. And it is precisely this possibility of interpretation that pushed many people to focus even more on this image, trying to understand whether there is truly something intentional behind it. Another very important detail to notice is the symmetry. By looking carefully, we can see that these elements are arranged in a surprisingly symmetrical way along the central axis of the number 5. And symmetry is a typical characteristic of faces, whether human or belonging to characters in video games and animated worlds. It's hard to ignore this aspect, especially considering how much mob entertainment loves to play with symbolism and hidden imagery. For this reason, many people have started to believe that these signs appearing inside the number 5 are not just simple random graphic elements, but could instead indicate the presence of a hidden face, a face that could have a precise meaning connected to the story, a secret character, or something that will be revealed later in Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. And this is where the theory truly gains strength, because when multiple details begin to align, it becomes increasingly difficult to think that it is all just a coincidence. Now let's try to understand whose face this could be. Of course, I want to remind you once again that everything we're talking about is just a theory. None of this has been officially confirmed, and what we're seeing could simply be the result of basic graphic effects or visual coincidences. That being said, we also have to be honest. As we saw earlier, these graphic effects do not seem to be placed randomly. Their position, symmetry, and resemblance to facial features make this theory at the very least interesting and worth analyzing more deeply. According to many fans in the community, this face could belong to Lily Lovebraids. In the official trailer, this character is indeed introduced, but in a very mysterious way. Of Lily Lovebraids, we can only see her legs and her braid, while the rest of her body and especially her face remains completely hidden. This has led many to suspect that her face may have been intentionally hidden inside the number 5 shown in the cinematic trailer. If this hypothesis were true, it would fit perfectly with Mob Entertainment's narrative style, as they often like to tease characters indirectly, leaving subtle visual clues before an official reveal. Hiding Lily Lovebraid's face inside the number, representing the chapter, would be an extremely subtle but also brilliant detail. Of course, this is not the only possibility. The face we are seeing could belong to a completely different character, perhaps someone who has not yet been officially revealed and will appear later in the game or in a future trailer. A secret character, possibly very important to the story of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. There is also another hypothesis that some fans have started to consider, which is that the face could be Poppy's herself. This would be a very strong symbolic choice, especially considering Poppy's central role in the story and the fact that her face is often associated with key moments in the saga. In any case, if Mob Entertainment really did hide a face inside the number 5, then this trailer could be hiding much more than what we have actually discovered so far. And that makes us think that maybe we're only scratching the surface, while many more secrets are still waiting to be uncovered. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. You are amazing. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.